Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us on the stream. I'm Shane. Thank you again for joining us for Sketch Club. Welcome. Today's Sketch Club is going to be inspired by maple syrup, one of the most delicious syrups you can have. So recently in Canada, we are melting the snow. Well, the environment is melting the snow. So, because the snow is melting, that's the time when people make maple syrup. So, I have been preparing to tap our trees and collect the first homemade maple syrup I've ever made in my life. So, I thought in honor of that and to to remember the moment, I would actually paint a maple tree. Now, I have very little knowledge about maple trees. I would almost go as far as to say none. But I'm learning, and so far what I've learned has been that there is a specific type of maple tree called the sugar maple that has the best syrup. And the best ratio of syrup. Now, interesting fact for anybody that's watching from Australia, New Zealand, maple syrup is a 40-to-1 ratio. So when you extract 40 litres of syrup, it boils down to 1 litre of actual maple syrup. So that's part of the reason it's so expensive. It takes a long time and a lot of power or firewood to boil the syrup down to get to the syrupy, delicious golden magic that we all love. So, very interesting process. And there's also other maples. So the sugar maple's one, but I believe the other maples, like there's a red maple, it also has a syrup, but the ratio isn't as good, and the sugar, the sweetness isn't quite as good either. So, again, it's kind of a rarity. I wouldn't say it's a rarity to have sugar maples, but they're more, there's a little bit less. It's not just all maples, okay? So, if any of these things are wrong, please let me know in the chat. Speaking of the chat, I will put the reference board for the chat into the group chat, so you can have a look at the references that I've collected for the maple syrup. But actually, it's not syrup, it's the tree. We're going to paint the tree. Now, I also happened upon the other reason I chose this is because I'm working on some t-shirt designs at the moment, and on my t-shirt designs I came across this cool painting when I was looking for references, which is a group of 7 painting with the red maple. So we'll have a look at that too in a minute when I flick over to my other screen. Now, if you haven't been here before, I'm Shane and we are from JR Art Lab. Please check out the website www.jrartlab.com. You can also check out whatever else we do there. So we do, if I don't mention it, because I sometimes forget parts. So we do graphic design, digital painting, 3D sculpting and modeling, podcasting, video editing, photography, anything, did I say podcasting? Yes, and design, graphic design. So anything in the digital creative space, if you would like someone to coach you and develop your digital skills, then please get in contact with us. It could be that you want to build your website for your small business, or you want to make a portfolio. We can help you with those things. And please also like, share and subscribe the video, which I often forget to mention. It really does help us out, getting a reach out there, and maybe we'll be able to do more of these if we have some significant sharing and subscribing and stuff like that. Okay, so we're live on Twitch, YouTube and Facebook. So please, wherever you are, wherever you're watching us today, share that for us. I'm just checking the audio. Let me know if the audio is too loud or too soft. If you should be able to hear the music in the background. Okay, and what we'll do is I'm painting in Clip Studio Paint. So if you use Clip Studio Paint, great. But if you use Photoshop, also fine. Whatever you want to paint with, you can do it on your iPad with Procreate. You can do it in your sketchbook. You can use watercolors if you're already set up. Whatever it is. And we're here every Friday and we have usually a different subject matter. Occasionally we'll do like a part 1, 2, or 3 if we're developing something. I would like to return to our dragon at some point. We did like a process of working with silhouettes and thumbnails and developing it up to a sketch. But it is called SketchClub, so yes, it's light and playful. Now I got some new brushes today from a very cool artist called Peter Moorbacker. Now I don't know if you have heard of Peter Moorbacker. He has this, I've seen his work before for a while. It's called the Angelarium. But if you Google Peter Mohr, Moorbacher, there we go, Moorbacker Gumroad brushes. It came across my stream, across my feed this week. So I will just see if I can get you that link and put it in the chat. This is the Angelarium. Here we go. So I'm going to have a play with these brushes today. That I've never touched them before. And he has a cool YouTube video if you want to have a look at how he set them up. He's got them set up a bit different to other people. So there is a link in the chat, so you can use the link there if you want to have a play with those brushes too. They're free. Thank you, Peter, for making free brushes. Okay, so let's go on over to my other screen. And oh look, we've got our little guy back. I haven't mentioned that. We've had our puppy has been away. Mr. Haku has been away for a little while. You can see him just over my shoulder here. I'm so glad to have him back. He's been away at dog military camp, getting some serious pack training with a pack. And he loved it. I think he loved it. When I came back to pick him up, he was like running around with this 20 dogs, and they were all like doing doggy stuff. And I've never put my dog in like a boarding place before, but it was really good. It was really good. I think it was really good for him, and the man that runs the boarding place is very skilled at communicating with dogs. He's like a local Cesar Milan. All right, so enough about dogs, but I'm so glad he's back and nice and chilled out over there, having a little nap time. All right, so let's go on over to my other screen, and we're going to have a look at the references we've got and get painting. All right, so here is what I've collected. Now I wasn't sure where to go with this originally. I'm still not sure. We're just making this up as we go. So we're just gonna go and have a look at some paintings and some photos of maple syrup. There's a cool palette there. So there's a lot of maple syrup in the fall time, because that seems to be a unique feature of them. But I kind of wanted to do springtime, but I don't know. We'll see. Now this is very nice. Look at that. That might be one of the group of 7 ones. It wasn't the one I discovered this week. I also really like this reflection. So if this is your first time here, I usually pull out a bunch of reference from the big collection. I like that perspective of the tree too. I really like this composition. Okay. That's cool. one big tree with some clouds. That could be, you know, like we're going into spring, so I didn't want to really do a fall type picture. Oh, sorry, an autumn type picture like this. This is beautiful. It'll be fun to paint, but maybe in the in the correct season. I have been thinking about this a lot this week, actually. Since moving to the forest and starting our little homestead, I'm very aware of living with the seasons, which is something I really didn't have an awareness of when I was in the city, and even less so when I was in Australia, because we don't have a lot of visual cues for the seasons changing that, you know, like we do here. Like the whole forest, like outside here, when we're changing seasons, my house looks like that, right? It's just the whole environment completely changes except for like the non-deciduous trees like the pines. So it's like you're looking at a different place. And then in the springtime, it's still brownish there, but in the springtime it's completely green and yellow, so a completely different look. Okay, so let's keep going through here. Okay, I did look at this, was interesting. 25 types of maple tree. Now I thought before I knew anything about maples, I thought there was only one maple tree, but then I thought there was a few maple trees, but 25 is quite a lot. These are some of the different leaves. That's quite cool, isn't it? That might be an interesting bit to study. That's a nice composition. Nice blur background. Okay, that looks like a Japanese maple, is it? Yes. Japanese maples look kind of different. I did know that there was a Japanese maple, but I didn't really think it was actually a maple. I thought it was just maybe called that. Here you go. These are common ones we've got here. The red maple, the box, sugar maple, and the silver maple. Then there's big leaf maple and box elder. I think these ones are more common. 5 most common, that it says there. Alright, let's keep going here. Common maple trees of North America. Red maple. Oh, look at this one. It changes. Red maple. Silver maple. That's cool. It's got the different little seed pods. They have the... If you ever saw pine tree seed pods in Australia, they have very... That's a cool idea. Let's put that over to the side. It is SketchClub. Maybe we'll just sketch one leaf and then render it a bit nicer. Okay. Oh, hang on a minute. That might be a good idea. I didn't think of that. That's what I just did today. I just put some of these. They have these little thingies that you put out, little buckets that you put with a spout that you put into the tree. I believe it doesn't damage the tree. You refill it with something to protect it. Now this looks good too. I think we already put that one up there. That's nice. Look at that. Look at that little close-up of the leaves. This was the one I came across this week. I really like this color. The palette's really nice. Some more leaves. That's nice with the two kind of tone changing across that. Okay. Oh, look at that. Is that real? Looks like it's had a Photoshop filter on it. I'm sure I had another one of the with the reflection there. But we didn't actually put too many over to the side. Okay, that looks good. Alright, so what have we got? What have we got? Oh yes, and then there's different barks. The different maple is you can differentiate the types of maple. This is the sugar maple bark, I think. Okay, so what have we got here in our collection? Not a lot today. Alright, let's pull these down here. Alright, I'm liking the idea of doing something like this, like a close-up, and then using this reference. Now, do we have a few more? There's some more maple leaf. There we go, we'll take that one too. Alright, so these are going to be what we can see. Now I wonder if we could work in a bucket, the metal bucket. I don't know if we can. We probably could, but we probably need to think about it a little bit more before we got into it. So I think what we'll do is we'll use this as our reference. And let me sugar maple leaf green, and we'll see if we get another one here. We'll get a few. Maybe we'll get a little bit of a composition idea from one of these ones now that we've got direction. Oh, did I put that one in? That one's good. That one's nice. So it's pretty good in this web app. You can just kind of search inside. Okay, there's some nice light on that one. I think that one looks good. That's nice too, isn't it? Okay, so we might go somewhere in between there. Which one is sugar maple? I think it's this one. They don't. The serrated edges, I think, is yep. Let's see here. Sugar maple, and then here that's the silver maple. It's got this kind of more ferny kind of edges, whereas like that. Okay, very good. Let's move this over. That is a nice composition. They look about they're flowing down. And where's our other? Is that it? Okay, this one. This one. This one. This one. Alright, and let's get going. Now it's good that we're doing something a little bit simplified today, I think, because we have no idea how our new brush set is going to behave, and that will give us a chance to play with the brushes. Now, I did notice, okay, so I'm going to put this over on the side here, and that way you guys can see it too. I'm going to shrink this up a little bit. Alright, so let's get going. How are we doing? Oh, we're 20 minutes in already. Okay, so we're going to have to be a little bit chill, but focused. Okay, let's get some color mixing. We'll start with some dark, mid saturation, and we will get the brush, and we'll get some middle, and then we'll get some brighter. I don't think we'll go that high, but let's get something a little bit more yellowish. for our, I think we have some good light on that one. What else do we have up there? Okay. We want to get something a little bit borderline yellow, I think, for some spots. Let's get a very saturated one. Oh, that looks like a better color. And we'll get a desaturated dark. Now, if we're doing green, let's see if we do a dark bluey purple back there somewhere. Very, very desaturated. I might give myself a pinky one too. Alright, let's try out these. So let's try out old huckleberry. Looks cool. It looks sort of soft. Oh, it builds up quite nice. Okay. Okay, that's good. And how is it behaving when I go bigger? Does it slow down? No, it's quite fast. Okay, that's cool. Let's try out this. What have we got here? Let's get a bit of more pinky purple. I think we were saying this composition is going to be interesting. Alright, let's go and get some of our darker green. You can see once I put the green down, the purple kind of comes in there. Okay, so that's a nice build-up brush, or good for the light. Let's try Ancient Huckleberry. A bit more texture on the Ancient Huckleberry, that's nice. Bit of a squinty. I love a good squint. Not to be confused with squids.
Hey baby, it's me.
That was the best dad joke I've ever made up. Okay, let's go back to here. This one has an opacity slider, so we can always knock it down and up. I like that. This other one doesn't. Well, you do. You would still have it, but I think you get what I'm saying. Alright, so let's start off with this leaf, which is kind of our
Bye, hon.
in and then out again.
Hear your voice.
Looks like something might have munched a little bit of that one. Oh no, there's two bends on that one.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. At the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Oh, there's a lot of little scratches on my screen. It might be time to change this tip. I have one right here. I can just see it scratching the hell out of it there. Let me just switch this over. Maybe it got a little bit sharp on one side or something. So anybody else out there planning to collect some maple syrup this term, this season? Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Okay, so we've got some back here, making a bit of a shape there. And then we've got one kind of coming off to the side here. Very iconic Canada, eh? Eh? Also iconic Canada, eh? We might go with a blue-ish. You see that leaf at the back there? Not the leaf, the stem. Put that color down too, so we can pick it up again. Alright, so there's our let's get that color again. Alright, now we didn't move on to new brushes. Let's try another one. Let's try this spongy bob. Okay, so what am I doing here? I'm just making it up now. So that's the leaf. Okay, so that goes there. And then we've got one kind of on the side here. It's disappearing behind there. Coming down to this one with a tip, a bit of a U shape, and then a pointy bit, and back up again, and around again. Alright, let's fill these in. I didn't put this on another layer because, you know, it's just a sketch, but it could have been a little bit easier if you put it on another layer, perhaps. I'm just going to thin that leaf down, that stem bit there, and this one kind of comes out of here, a bit fat. And there we go, and then we'll go up to our bit yellow here, and we'll just jot in a little bit of this. Okay. We might hit the back with a little bit of a blur. Do a little bit of smudgy. I think smudging is dangerous. Once you get smudging, it can be really dangerous. Okay. Alright, let's get our green again and let's go a bit lighter. So our light is coming from this side. Oh, we've got to switch back to the brush. Let's try another brush. Let's try oval spongy. Let's see how oval spongy is. I think we could have a bit more texture on that. Maybe I need to push a bit lighter. Does it have it? No, it doesn't have an opacity. Okay, let's try another one. Brushy. Brushy, I like it. Brushy, angle, and I want something with an opacity. What about texture density? Okay, inky. No. Flatty. Crusty. Opacity. Here we go. Cloudy has opacity, so let's give cloudy a go. Ooh, very nice. I'm just going to ignore those first lines that I put down just because now the Huckleberry was a build-up brush too, so that might be a good one to experiment with here. We might try that on another leaf. Alright, let's try this soft one. Do we have opacity with that? No, we don't. Okay, so let's go back to old... No, not... Yeah, old Huckleberry, not ancient Huckleberry. And that was a slow kind of build up. So, let's try this. We've kind of changed this bit, but we could push this out a bit more. Alright, let's have a look up here where we want to put in more light. I like old Huckleberry. Oh, Huckleberry. Huckleberry's a tree too, isn't it? That's kind of interesting. There's a big shadow there. So we will leave that leaf shadow alone. There's a cast shadow from that first leaf onto this one. Okay, where's my dropper? Make this a bit sharper. I did watch the video about these brushes, and I think he said it doesn't change. If the size doesn't get bigger when you push harder, you have to manually change the opacity. No, I can't remember now at all. I cannot remember. I just saw the video yesterday. Oh well. Usually a brush changes when you push harder or softer. But I think this one... Okay. Let's go a bit lighter and a bit more green. Let's try some ancient Huckleberry, and we've got an opacity on this one. That's good. There's a fold in here. No, there's not. It's overlapping Okay, let's go in a bit closer since we're focusing on this one. There's actually an overlap. So this one is coming up. Let's just go a bit crazy here for a second. Can I see that? Yep. And then there's an in and an out, in and out. That's the tip of that one, and then it comes back in. Okay. And then it's quite hard to see, but there is a little bit of a lighter line on the edge. Okay. There's a big shadow bit here. It looks like it's coming from another plant. Alright, I think we might need a little bit more. Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you for joining. Alright, we've got 15 minutes to go. Why did it move? Yes, it moved. That's annoying. Now we've got... Oh no, it's saved. It didn't cut it off, so that's okay. I'm just going to make it slightly bigger. Alright. Alright, let's get in some veins. Okay, so that's what it's doing. One of my shortcut buttons is causing a trouble. Okay, let's see. Let's have a look at Inky when Inky's tiny. Yep, that's good. Maybe a bit dark. Another interesting maple fact that I learned is they have what's called, I think it's called bilateral branching. Bilateral horizontal branching? Anyway, I can't remember the special word, but the special word basically means that when a branch comes out on one side, they have to have a branch that comes out on the other side. Just like these veins. So if it comes out this way, you're going to have one that comes out on the other side. And other plants don't have that. They have, when one comes out on one side, they're like staggered. So interesting little maple facty. Make it a bit darker back in the shadows there. Alright, we might put a bit of let's try this out. I'm gonna get old huckleberry. Maybe it's not too kind of left that bit out there. It's alright though. got about 7 minutes to go, so let's see how much lighter we can get. I would like to try and get some of that. Let's try the eyedropper. Nope, it's not going to let me eyedropper. I think we need something like this. Let's try. Alright, now we've got a lot. Okay, let's try and sharpen up some of these edges that are off here in the distance. What have I got? Ancient huckleberry. I'm just gonna give this a little bit of a huckleberry. What about this soft one? Let's try softy. Get our hard one. Okay, we've got some nice hard ones on this. Let's get... a couple over here. Alright, how are we doing? Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Let me just smudge this. Well, it wasn't what I intended when I first started today. I thought we'd end up painting a tree. And now we have maple leaves. But that was fun experimenting with those new brushes. As I said to you, if you want to get a copy of those, check out the link for Peter's Gumroad. His link is in the chat from the video description, in the chat from this session. Well, that was a fun little maple painting. Thank you for joining us once again. We will be back again next Friday. If you would like to suggest a topic, please do. You can email me up here, and we will have a look at your topic and give that a bash next week, maybe. If you would like to suggest a topic for another week, you can also do that. If you would like to share your work with us, please send us your work. We'd love to see, or tag us with JR Art Lab or SketchClub, Art Lab SketchClub. Check out our website, www.jarlab.com, and please do like, subscribe, and share the video if you can. Please share it. The more people that get to see us, the more it helps us out. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week. Ow. Ow.